So I really didn't want to do 2 talking videos in a row, but you see, I just washed my hair today, and yeah, I ain't coming on camera, bitch. What's good, Panda fam? Koyuki Panda here, and I am back with another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking all about Inktober, the pros, the cons, and how to prep for the month. Before we begin, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so that you will always know when I upload. So now to get into the video. So what exactly is Inktober, right? A lot of people talk about Inktober every October, but maybe not everybody knows what it is. So to explain what Inktober is, from the Inktober website, Inktober is a month-long art challenge created by artist Jake Parker that is focused on improving skill and developing positive drawing habits. Every day for the month of October, anyone participating in the Inktober challenge creates an ink drawing and posts it online. So that's basically it. That's what all the buzz is about. I'm pretty sure many of you know this, but I figured I would just give a concrete definition for those of you who do not know. So now, there's so much hype about Inktober, right? So everybody wants to do it. Many people have done it. Not everybody has finished it. So I just wanted to list a bunch of pros and cons for doing Inktober that personally I feel like people should be aware of. Let's start with the pros. To ask ourselves a question, right? Why even do the challenge? Some of the pros are it's a challenge to test yourself. I can attest to that. It does help you to push yourself. The amount of the feel-good feeling that you get when you finish the challenge, when you complete a whole month of Inktober is incredible. Like it's nice, and a lot of people, you know, they definitely respect you for it. Whenever I go to conventions, I show off my Inktober pieces and I get a lot of compliments on them, and a lot of people tell me that they did it but didn't finish. So it's not an easy feat. So it is a good way to push yourself. It pushes you to think outside the box. Once you're on day 10 or so, even maybe day 8, you might not know what to do. Even if you have a prompt, you might be out of ideas, and it pushes you to test the boundaries of your creativity. Another pro is friendly competition. I feel like Inktober gets kind of a bad rep because of the competitive nature some of the artists have. Personally, I don't see a problem with friendly competition. I think it's a great motivator to get artists involved and excited about whatever project or whatever, you know, specifically speaking Inktober, about the challenge. So I think that in itself, if it's positive, I think that's definitely a pro. Another one is Inktober is an ego booster. It feels nice when you put your work up and people can reciprocate really well to your work, and they enjoy what they see and they like it. It's always nice. Another pro is that you can explore new tools, new mediums, and different techniques. I also have made videos on these. I'll have the link in the description down below. And another pro is that it's a good way to reevaluate your art. This is a good way to show your progress. That's something that people really like to see online, specifically artist to artist. We are our own community, you know? We have to lift each other up, and like all get a little self-conscious about our work. So it is nice to see that no matter how long we've been drawing, there's room for improvement. Even if you feel like you've never improved or you haven't improved, you can always improve by doing these kinds of challenges. You can look back even 2 months later and say, wow, I really did improve. Now, for some of the cons of Inktober, why to do the challenge? What are some of the cons for that? One of the cons is it is a huge time commitment, especially for younger artists. If you don't have very good time management skills, you have a high probability of not completing the challenge, and that's fine. But if you are really trying to push yourself to complete the challenge, it is a huge time commitment. It is a whole month. And for me personally, I feel like if you really want to finish Inktober, you absolutely have to plan ahead. For somebody who might not enjoy planning or managing their time that way, that would be a huge con for you, especially if you really want to finish this challenge. So, quick disclaimer, I'm not like an expert at Inktober, and I'm not claiming to know the secret to like having the most successful Inktober. However, I did do Inktober and I did finish it, but I had done Inktober in the past where I haven't finished it. And one of the biggest deciding factors, I feel like, in why I was able to finish it when I did, as opposed to when I did it in the past, was planning. I planned it, and like completely different outcome. I think when I did it in the past, I ended on like, I never completed it. It was like day 1, day 2, then day 6, then day 10, something like that. If your goal is to finish Inktober, you absolutely need to plan out your month. Another con is that it can be expensive. You are buying, if you are not the type of person to have inking materials or anything like that, it can be very expensive. Even if you're going to do things digital, that costs money. So that is something that I think not a lot of people think about, but it can be expensive. Another con would be competition that is not so friendly, where it's like DBZ worthy kind of like anger towards people online. Those kind of like negative feelings where you feel like you have to be the best, you have to like, you've got to be ahead, and like you've got to upload faster than everybody else or be ahead of the curve. That's not what Inktober is about. It's about creating healthy drawing habits and pushing yourself. It's not about being the best in the room or the fastest in the room. So that is something to be mindful of. If you are susceptible to that kind of behavior, this might not be for you. Another con to consider when doing Inktober is, as much of an ego booster it can also be an ego crusher. When you upload online, if you are the type of person to be very sensitive about their progress on their work, and you see all these different people doing all of this like amazing stuff, you might start to feel like, damn, like, well, what am I doing, And that is something that you will feel as an artist in general, which is why, although it is a con, I feel like it is a con that can be manageable. Like, it just comes with the territory. So it's not something that's like, it's not something that you'd never experience if you didn't do Inktober. You would experience it anyway. But that is something to be mindful of. Inktober can also cause burnout, and that's something that I think a lot of people don't think about either. You can get burned out on this challenge. It's 31 days. If that is not usually how you work, you could start to feel very, very burned out. And that could also be a reason why you don't finish the challenge. And like I said, it's all relative. It's all good. There's no pressure. But these are things to consider when you start. I think the last con would probably just be like pressure to just do everything, like the immense pressure that we give ourselves to just complete the entire challenge and make it perfect. And it's about having fun, It's about pushing yourself. It's about developing healthy drawing habits. It's really just about trying to improve and trying to grow. It's not that deep. It's not that serious. And a few other things to note that I want to mention is, again, I cannot stress this enough. This challenge means to push yourself. You don't have to stick to the regular prompt. You can do whatever, but choose projects or prompts that will push yourself in the way that you want to be challenged, if that makes sense. So like if you did, the official prompt last year, maybe do a different prompt this year. If you have problems with drawing, let's say, animals, find a prompt that focuses on animals. That's actually what I did last year. I like witches and I like animals, but I don't like drawing animals. So I got a prompt that subjects witches and their familiars, which were all these different animals, and I thought that was dope. So that's why I picked that prompt. But that's the way that I wanted to challenge myself. Again, it's not a competition, and if you want it to be a competition, make it a friendly one. It's okay to stop. Nobody's at war. There's no like knives put up, or it's not a battleground. Like it's okay to stop. Nobody would blame you. There's a lot more people that stop more than finish. I feel like I don't know about the statistics, but I feel like on average more people don't finish than they finish. I just kind of wanted to give a few more tips on different ways that you could prep for Inktober. 1, make sure that your workspace is organized. It's a great way to get to work quickly, especially for people who have to go to school or go to work and don't have a lot of time. Another way to prep is to get your supplies and materials ready ahead of time. It saves a lot of time so that you don't have to waste time looking for materials. That time could be used for drawing. Plan the month ahead and create a timetable for the month, how much time you want to give to the challenge. Again, this is mainly for people who have very busy lives. They either have the kids, or they have another job, or they go to school, or they do all of those things at the same time. Make sure you have a timetable. How much time do you want to spend working each day on this challenge? Make sure you know what you're working with, so that there's not room for you to kind of throw your hands up in defeat and just quit. That is it. Those are my pros and cons for Inktober, and a few ways to prep. I hope it was helpful, and if you're planning on doing Inktober, please let me know what you're planning to do in the comments below. Just wanted to mention, so I did Inktober last year, like I said before, and I finished the challenge. I have videos on my progress if you were interested in those and you want to check those out. I was really happy with the results, but for this year's Inktober, I wanted to push myself even more. And as you all know, I am a freelance illustrator, and I really want to be a manga artist / comic artist. I want to transition more so into that, specifically into the realm of manga. So this year for Inktober, I am going to actually be working on a short one-shot manga called Pragma Boy. Pragma Boy is about a young boy named Solomon and his friendship with a ghost girl named Alma. I'm really excited about this project, as it's going to be like my first official manga / comic work that I'm putting out publicly. If you're interested in getting early access to project updates, concept art, illustrations, and any exclusive Patreon only access to this project and to any future comic manga projects that I'm going to be working on, please consider joining me on Patreon. The link is in the description down below. And for those of you who aren't really ready to hop onto the Patreon train just yet, you'll be able to read Pragma Boy on my Instagram, just at Koyuki Panda, and on my website at www.koyukipanda.com. And that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give it a like. I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much to my Patreons who have supported me for this video and the past videos, and will hopefully support me for the next few videos that I put up on here. And yeah, that's it. All right. Peace.
Make me a dream. Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Cooking up, open the park pot. We came from nothing to something, nigga. I don't try nobody, bring the trigger. Call up the gang and they come.